While he was picking out wedding venues and talking about baby names with her, I was wiring every penny of his six-figure inheritance into an offshore account with my name on it. He never saw it coming. He was always the golden child. Even when our parents got married and I became his stepsister, he acted like I didn't belong. At family dinners, I was invisible. At school, he told people we weren't related. And when our father passed, he made sure the will reflected that too. I was 19 then. The lawyers told me the trust fund left for both children had been rewritten. Somehow, my name had disappeared. Quietly, legally. He took it all. I never forgot. It got worse when I found out he was dating her, my best friend from college. The same girl who held my hand through my first heartbreak. The same girl who used to laugh with me about how fake he was. They posted pictures everywhere, kissing in Paris, smiling on boats. I stopped checking social media. It burned, but I didn't burn alone. I planned. I studied law, finance, and digital tracing. I worked in estate offices, studying how wealthy families hid assets and dodged taxes. I wasn't trying to steal, at first. I just wanted to understand how he had done it. But as the years passed and they got louder with their luxury, I got quieter with my plan. Then it happened. I was offered a job at the same firm managing his trust. They didn't recognize me at first. I had changed my last name. I played the polite assistant. I made coffee. I filed papers. And I found everything. Passwords. Transfer protocols. Signatory rights. He had gotten lazy. Arrogant. He trusted that the system would protect him. But I was the system now. As he shopped for rings and planned a surprise engagement trip to Santorini, I was liquidating assets, selling shares, and slowly draining accounts. Every dollar was accounted for, signed legally, passed through the right hand. Offshore. Hidden. Untouchable. And then I disappeared. No calls. No texts. I left the firm. I changed my number. I moved across the ocean. The only thing I left behind was a package, wrapped in gold ribbon, delivered to their engagement party. Inside, they found a flash drive, a legal summary, and a note that read, "Congratulations on the wedding. You'll have each other. That's all that's left." I don't know what happened next. I don't check their pages anymore. I imagine it was a disaster. But me? I wake up every day with peace. Not because I stole, but because I took back what was mine. And maybe a little more. He was always the favorite, the perfect son, the one who got the praise, the attention, the love. I was just the half-sibling, the one they tolerated, the mistake from Dad's second marriage. I grew up on the edge of the family, watching from the outside. When our father died, I expected nothing. And that's what I got. No call. No invite to the funeral. No seat at the reading of the will. I found out from a neighbor that the service already happened. My name wasn't mentioned. Not once. He inherited everything. The house, the cars, the investments. All of it. And soon after, he got engaged to a woman I knew only through gossip. A woman who seemed more interested in his bank account than his personality. I watched from a distance as they threw parties, posted pictures of ring shopping, and planned a wedding with designer everything. But one day, I got a letter from the lawyer's office. A mistake, maybe. A copy of the original will had been sent to me. I read it once. Then again. And then again. There it was. A small line buried deep in the legal wording. I had been named a co-executor of the estate. It wasn't about who owned the assets. It was about who had the power to move them before everything was finalized. So I did. Slowly. Quietly. I played the part of the forgotten sister. I sent polite emails. I asked the right questions. I smiled at the right people. And behind the scenes, I sold stocks, transferred funds, and restructured holding. Over the next few months, piece by piece, the fortune was gone. Not lost. Just moved. To places he'd never find. In names he wouldn't recognize. He was too distracted to notice. Too busy with cake tastings and venue tours to see what was slipping through his fingers. And then, just weeks before the wedding, I vanished. No goodbye. No note. I blocked everyone. Changed numbers. Cut ties. Except for one thing. I left him a voicemail. "You never noticed I was missing from your life. Now watch how it feels when your life goes missing too." I heard he lost his mind, that the wedding was postponed, that lawyers couldn't find the money, and his fiancée left him once the gifts stopped coming in. I don't know where he is now. I don't care. I only know that, for the first time, I feel seen. Not because I made him suffer, but because I reminded him I was there all along, and he chose to erase me. So I erased his future. He said we were forever, until he didn't. One day he loved me. The next, he was holding hands with my best friend like I'd never existed. No warning. No explanation. Just silence. And smiles on Instagram. They became the perfect couple overnight. Always dressed up, always posting, always pretending. It felt like a knife in my back. Twice. But I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I smiled. I even sent them a gift when they got engaged. Because I had a secret. The trust fund he was about to access. The one his late father left behind. was under the control of my mother's firm. After she passed, that control passed to me. He didn't know that. He never cared enough to ask what I did for work. Typical. So while he and my ex-best friend planned a dream wedding, I went to work. At first, I simply delayed things. A signature missed here, a form lost there. He got frustrated, sure, but not suspicious. Then I got bolder. I started liquidating assets, quietly. I paid off debts in his name to make the statements look clean. But I moved the big money somewhere else. I killed his credit line, closed old accounts, and flagged suspicious activity, his own, of course. By the time he realized something was wrong, it was too late. The big reveal came at their engagement party. They had rented out a fancy rooftop venue. Champagne flowing. Flowers everywhere. Fake smiles all around. That's when the notifications hit. Bank alerts. Denied payments. A canceled honeymoon booking. His card declined at the bar. I stood in the back, sipping a drink, watching the panic set in. But I wasn't done. Later that night, I sent her a message. No words. Just screenshots. Dozens of them. Late-night texts from him, to the maid of honor. Some recent. Some from before we even broke up. I heard the screaming started minutes after she opened them. She threw her ring into the pool. He chased her barefoot down the hotel stairs. Guests whispered. Photos got deleted. Fast. Me. I just walked away. He took everything from me, my love, my friend, my future. So I took it all back, and broke their perfect little world in return. I raised him like he was mine. When mom was sick and dad was always working, it was me who packed his lunch, helped with homework, and taught him how to tie his shoes. I was more than his sister. I was his second parent. And for a while, he never forgot that. He'd call me first when something went wrong. He'd hug me tight every birthday. He promised we'd always stick together, no matter what. Then she showed up. She was all glitter and filters. An influencer with a pretty face and a camera always in hand. At first, I thought it was just a fling. But fast forward 6 months, and he was buying her designer bags and unfollowing our cousins. She's helping me build my brand, he said. What she was really doing was helping him erase us. After Dad passed, things got worse. He didn't even cry. Just asked, so what's in the will? Turns out, I was named trustee. Dad trusted me to handle everything. The money, the properties, the stocks. My brother just assumed I'd sign the checks and step aside. He even started building a mansion before I transferred anything. She'll do it, he told his fiancée at brunch. She knows I'm the one who actually earned it. I smiled. I nodded. I passed the toast. But behind the scenes, I was busy. I created a new trust. Not for him, but for Mom, who still lived in the same tiny house where we grew up. For our aunt who helped raise us. For the cousins he now pretended not to know. Every penny went to the people he left behind. I paid off their mortgages, funded college accounts, set up small businesses, quietly, legally, carefully. When he finally realized nothing was coming his way, he stormed into my apartment, red-faced, waving his phone. Where's the money? He snapped. I looked at him, really looked. The designer clothes, the cold stare, the stranger my little brother had become. So I told him, it's with the people who deserve it, not the ones who forgot where they came from. He called me names, said I betrayed him, said I was jealous. But I didn't flinch, because loyalty isn't about blood. It's about who shows up when the cameras are off. He left his roots for likes. I just made sure those roots had something to grow from. He lost a fortune. I saved a family. We built everything together. From a tiny dorm room, working late nights, selling small ideas to big names. I was there when he had nothing, when we ate dollar noodles and shared a laptop that overheated every hour. He used to say, if I ever make it, we make it. And we did. The app took off. Investors came running. Money poured in. We had press, followers, interviews. And then she came along. Glossy, polished, perfect for the spotlight. She whispered things into his ear, made sure I was cropped out of photos. You don't need her, she told him. She's holding you back. A few months later, he pushed me out. Quietly, cleanly. Told the board it was a vision mismatch. Then he rewrote the story. He was the genius, the founder, the one who built it all. He thought I was gone. But I wasn't. What he didn't realize was that I still held silent shares. Legal, binding, and very real. And because of the way we structured the company in the beginning, I also had power of attorney over the old inherited properties he had used to secure his newest loan. So I waited. I watched him flash cash, plan yacht parties, and propose to her in Paris. I let him dream. I let him believe he was untouchable. Then I sold it all. The old estate, the vacation house in Maui, the downtown apartment with his name on the deed. All of it gone. The buyers were quiet. The transfers legal. Every signature, perfectly placed. It was public record by the time he noticed. He called. He texted. I didn't answer. Instead, I logged into LinkedIn. I posted the news of the sale. Attached the closing documents. Tagged him. Caption. This was your idea. I just finished it. The post went viral. Investors panicked. His fiancée deleted her social media. He tried to save face, but the truth spread faster than any PR team could control. He called me once more, voicemail. Why did you do this? I didn't reply. He knew. You don't steal from the person who held the ladder while you climbed. You don't erase the one who helped build your dream, unless you're ready to lose them all. And he did. He had nothing when I met him. No car, no savings, no plan. Just dreams and a worn-out hoodie. I believed in him. I stayed up late helping him write pitches, built websites from scratch, took side jobs to keep the lights on. When things got tough, I reminded him what we were working for. And then we made it. His idea, my effort, we did it together. But success changes people. He started dressing differently, talking differently, acting like he built everything alone. And then he cheated. With a girl who only knew him after the money came. Someone who saw the spotlight and decided to ride it. He left me with a shrug. No apology. No goodbye. Just a new life with her, like I was a phase he'd grown out of. What he forgot was that our last project, the one that secured his inheritance, still had both our names on the trust. I was joint executor, legally tied to every move that money made. He thought I'd sign the papers and disappear. I didn't. I waited a few months, playing it quiet. Then I started moving funds, small at first, then bigger. All legally done, all under the name of the trust. But not for him, for the kids, for the families he'd stepped over on the way up. I donated to schools, food programs, shelters, and I made sure every gift was given in his father's name. He didn't notice until he saw the headline. New youth center opens in memory of his father's name, donated anonymously. His face was everywhere after that. Paparazzi caught him yelling at reporters. He went live on Instagram, drunk, slurring, furious. Accused everyone of stealing from him. Called me out without naming me. The comments flooded in. Some laughed. Some were confused. His perfect image cracked in real time. I watched from my couch, sipping tea. Then I opened my phone, clicked on his video, and left one comment. Slightly smiling face. No words. Just that one emoji. People caught on. Screenshots went viral. Memes popped up. His meltdown became entertainment. He tried to explain, but no one cared. The girl he replaced me with left soon after. Quietly, without fanfare. Just gone like I had been. Funny how life circles back. He used me to rise, then left me behind. So I used what he gave me to lift others instead. And I didn't need the credit. Just the peace. We were supposed to share everything. That's what Grandpa said. Me and my cousin 50-50. We grew up like siblings. We played in the same dirt, ate from the same table. We dreamed of fixing up the old family land together. But then he met her. She came from money, and she wanted more. Smiled like a princess, talked like a lawyer. Her family had connections, and they used them. Quietly, they worked behind the scenes to change the will. By the time I found out, it was too late. The land, the money, the shares, everything had been put in his name. No warning, no explanation. Just a smirk from her and a "you understand, don't you?" from him. I nodded. I told them it was fine, that I didn't want to fight. I even offered to help manage the paperwork. "Let me take care of the legal stuff," I said. "I know the history. I want you two to be happy." And they believed me. So while they planned the wedding and broke ground on their mansion, I got to work. I created a new trust, moved funds quietly, added exit clauses and power of repossession under my name, all hidden in legal terms they didn't bother to read. They chose the colors of the drapes. I chose the date everything would collapse. They picked out wedding rings. I picked the day the bulldozers would show up. 1 week before the wedding, the notice was delivered. They didn't own the land anymore. The house wasn't theirs. All permits had been revoked. Construction stopped. Security changed the locks. And I didn't say a word. The wedding day came. Guests arrived dressed in gowns and suits. Cars lined up. A string quartet waited near the trees. But there was no mansion. Just dirt. Fences. A red sign that read, "No trespassing." I watched from a distance, sipping coffee. She screamed. He begged someone to fix it. People took photos. Some laughed. Some left. His perfect world crumbled in front of 100 eyes. And I felt peace. They built their castle on lies, on stolen promises, on blood ties they broke. So I did what they never expected. I burned it down with truth and paper. Now the land is in my name again. Quiet. Empty. Waiting. And I'll build something honest here. Something real. Something they'll never be part of. I was more than just his accountant. For 5 years, I handled everything, his taxes, his investments, his trust funds. I made sure his money grew while he played rich. And in the quiet moments between meetings and spreadsheets, we became something else. Something personal. Something secret. He told me he trusted me more than anyone. That I was the only one who saw the real him. And then he dumped me. Not kindly. Not gently. But cold and sharp, like deleting a file. "I'm with someone better now," he said. "Someone who fits the life I'm building." She was younger, glossier, loud on social media. He didn't even have the decency to tell me in person. Just a text, then silence. He forgot something, though. He forgot that I was the one who built that life. That I knew every number, every hidden clause, every backdoor in his financial world. So I didn't get angry. I got quiet. And then I started rewriting his future. It began slow. I adjusted timelines, shifted funds into holding accounts under anonymous trusts. I used silent clauses he never read, created transfers that looked legit, but funneled the real wealth into places only I could access. He thought he was richer than ever, bought watches, flew first class, proposed to her with a diamond the size of a grape. They started planning to buy an island for their honeymoon. It'll be the crown jewel, he told the broker. But when he tried to make the payment, the account was empty, completely empty. Panic set in. He called banks, yelled at assistants, blamed hackers. Nothing made sense to him. Then he got the email, from me. No long letter, no rant, just one line. Your math was right. Your loyalty wasn't. He never replied. But I saw the fallout. The story hit the news. Tech investor loses millions in mysterious transfer error. His new fiancée vanished from his social. His smile disappeared from his press photos. And me? I'm doing just fine. Because he burned the one person who knew where every dollar lived and every secret hid. He forgot the first rule. Don't burn the accountant. I was supposed to inherit everything. That's what Dad always said. What's mine will be yours. And for years, I believed him. I stayed close. I helped with the business. I looked after the details my brother ignored. Then Dad died. And the will said otherwise. A single hidden clause changed everything. Something buried in the fine print from years ago. A note that because I was adopted, I couldn't inherit the estate directly. My brother knew about it. He made sure it stayed in. He didn't even try to hide his smile at the reading. He got the house, the trust, the title. He even gave a press interview the next day, talking about how proud our father would be. He had the money, the camera lights, and a new girlfriend who clung to his arm like a trophy. I disappeared from the story, or so he thought, because he forgot something. While he was busy chasing headlines, I had been managing Dad's offshore holding, a quiet shell corporation he set up decades ago. The kind of thing most people forget exists. But Dad didn't forget. And he left that in my name. Sole beneficiary. Quiet. Unseen. So I waited. I moved the assets. Cleaned the trail. Cashed out and transferred everything to accounts under a new identity. Then I booked a flight and left the country. But I wasn't done. I sent anonymous tips. Little breadcrumbs. Names. Dates. Wire paths. Nothing illegal on my end. Just enough truth for the tax authorities to dig. And they did. He never saw it coming. It happened live during his big proposal. He was on stage at a luxury gala, microphone in hand, ring box open, cameras flashing. Then came the sirens, the agents, the cuffs. The news spread fast. Heir arrested in multi-million-dollar tax scheme. His girlfriend vanished. His accounts were frozen. His smile disappeared. And me? I watched the video from a quiet cafe on the coast. Far away. Safe. Free. He tried to bury me in the past. But I used that dirt to grow my empire. We were married for 3 years. It wasn't perfect, but I believed it was real. We had plans, late-night talks, lazy Sundays. He promised me forever. Then I found the ring. Not mine, someone else's. Hidden in his gym bag, along with a little handwritten speech. Sweet, romantic, and meant for her. I didn't cry. I got quiet. And then I got to work. He didn't know I knew. So I watched, listened, waited. He thought he was clever, hiding texts, sneaking out, calling her when he thought I was asleep. What he didn't know was that I was recording. Screenshots, call logs, financial records. I gathered everything. Turns out, he wasn't just cheating. He was planning to propose to her while still legally married to me, so he could use both relationships to claim a larger share of a family inheritance. One wife for the paperwork, one fiancé for the show. He thought he was building his future, but I was ending it. I filed for divorce in secret, quietly, legally. And thanks to our prenup, which he never bothered to read, I was entitled to half of everything, plus full claim to his inheritance as his legal spouse. The moment the court accepted the filing, everything changed. Then came the big day. He threw a huge event. Rooftop lights. Live-streamed. Friends and family gathered to watch him propose to the love of his life. He dropped to one knee, smiling wide. That's when he was served. Right there on camera. Fraud. Theft. Big, bold letters stamped on the front of the envelope. The crowd went silent. His face turned pale. She looked confused, then furious. The live stream kept going for a full minute before someone finally turned it off. I wasn't there. I was at a quiet wine bar, sitting with my divorce lawyer, watching it all unfold on her iPad. She raised her glass. To clean exits, she said. I smiled, clinked her glass, and said, to starting over, with everything. He planned our future. I planned my freedom, and I got the better deal.
Hi besties, thank you so much for watching to the end. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.